Welcome back, gamers, to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers. If you happen to be new here, make sure you tap that subscribe button. That way you never miss out on all of the latest and greatest gaming trends. Plus, comment down below with which Sonic characters that you like the most and tell us why. Now let's get into today's list of the top 10 characters that we don't want to see in the Sonic movie. In at number 10, Moss the Sloth. That's impossible to say. Moving on. Moss the anthropomorphic sloth may seem like a good fit for the Sonic movie, mainly because he acts as a tutor for the heroes. But do we really want to see what a CGI sloth looks like? In terms of his relation to Sonic, well, the two met while in the Rocky Jungle Zone. Moss could tell that the Dark Gaia within Sonic was slowly corrupting the Hedgehog, and Moss always did his best to get Sonic to accept situations rather than try to control them. However, in the film, this kind of guiding character may seem too crammed in, with Sonic meeting Dr. Robotnik in live action for the first time. We don't need any more elements to that. In at number 9, Enerjak. This character was originally a chaos energy scientist who lived in Albion with his love Aurora La. Their work advanced so much that they were able to speak with the ancient walkers who gave them access to the chaos force to enhance their knowledge. Although Enerjak was soon corrupted during the process and ended up turning against his love and even the ancient walkers, Enerjak became so powerful that he couldn't be destroyed, so the only solution left was to scatter him throughout the chaos force. We're hoping that the Chaos Emeralds play some role in the film, but to see the living embodiment of Enerjak this early in the live action story would be so confusing to unpack to regular audiences. In at number 8, Jet the Hawk. Naturally, because Sonic is crazy fast, he's always going to have other characters challenging him to a race to see who truly is the fastest. Jet the Hawk is one of those. Known as the legendary Wind Master because of his mastery of extreme gear riding, Jet has a pretty established and impressive reputation amongst his peers. Although ever since he lost to Sonic in Extreme Gear, the two have had an intense rivalry. Since we saw Sonic already breaking the sound barrier in the trailer, we highly doubt that the movie will feature a character that can almost equal that speed just for the sake of it. Unfortunately, it just wouldn't make sense to introduce a character who's also gunning to be the fastest thing in the universe. In at number 7, Rock Monster. Also known as Granifer Giganticus, this character is used a lot as a tool of means of payback or destruction rather than driving a plot of the movie. It would be cool to see an Easter egg, but for someone to voice the monster would just be bizarre. After sleeping for a very long time, the Rock Monster was woken up by Sonic and Knuckles. After fighting with them for a bit, the Rock Monster just wanted to get back to sleep but had terrible insomnia. This led to it smashing through a village until Styx sang the monster a lullaby. Then, he was kidnapped by Dr. Eggman, then rescued by Team Sonic, and then put back to sleep in Dr. Eggman's lair as payback. So it's safe to say this rock is no more than a pawn to the characters in Sonic and therefore just wouldn't make sense to have in the movie, although I could see Dwayne Johnson playing him. In at number 6, Matilda the Armadillo. First appearing in the Sonic the Hedgehog comic series and its spin-offs published by Archie Comics, this young Mobian armadillo is part of the Dark Egg Legion in the Great Desert. Matilda is the younger sister of Mighty the Armadillo, born in Mercia, and she was later sent to an orphanage after her family had either been executed or exiled. She remained there until being kidnapped by Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Now in her storyline, she was one of the first victims of roboticization, so it's possible that we may get to see her name as an Easter egg for one of the many robotic machines that we see Robotnik utilizing in the film, but we highly doubt that there will be a CGI'd armadillo squaring off with Sonic. In at number 5, Wildcat. In season 1 of the Sonic animated television show, Wildcat was one of the earliest applicants for the Sonic Sidekick tryouts. Unfortunately, he didn't make the cut to be on the team and subsequently went back to living in his village. In many of this character's storylines, he's used as a notable victim of Eggman and quite often has to be rescued by Team Sonic. Having Wildcat in the film would be a lot of dead weight for the storyline of the movie. The last thing that we want to see is Sonic having to save the planet from this unknown threat while also trying to save an anthropomorphic cat, which in and of itself would be difficult to explain to the humans overall. In at number 4, Kyle the Gorilla. When Kyle the anthropomorphic gorilla appears in the Sonic Boom comic series, he's used as a henchman for Dr. Eggman. Again, this movie seems to be more about the humans reacting to the Sonic character all on its own, so to add in more talking animals even on the villain side would just be confusing for a lot of audiences. This would be a hilarious addition for say a movie down the line because Kyle's character after fleeing Eggman becomes an actor for the comedy Chimp Show and even tries new bits on Sonic. Although smashing a pie into Sonic's face may be a little too slapsticky for this kind of movie, especially if you want to give Sonic all of the witty one-liners to build him first as the comic relief at times. But Kyle the Gorilla? Nah, we don't need you. And at number 3, Chaos. Chaos is the main antagonist in the Sonic series called Sonic Adventure. He's essentially an immortal god made up of concentrated energy. In his most basic form, he looks a lot like if a jellyfish and a hedgehog merged bodies. Chaos is the original guardian of the Chaos Emerald, so we may hear the character's name get dropped, but it would be a whole nother thing to see Chaos in the flesh, well, whatever he's made up of. And at number 2, Maria Robotnik. Maria is the granddaughter of Gerald Robotnik and cousin of Dr. Eggman. She was born on the space colony Ark and suffered from a terminal illness that didn't allow her to go to Earth. Gerald started Project Shadow with the hope of curing Maria, but instead, Shadow the Hedgehog was created. The two became very close, and when Maria attempted to help Shadow escape, she was killed by a soldier, resulting in a huge impact on Shadow. Now, it would be cool if the movie found some way to set up a storyline for Shadow the Hedgehog, but without Shadow, there really isn't any need to even mention Maria's name in the film. Lastly, on our number 1 spot, Silver the Hedgehog. Silver hails from at the very least 200 years into the future, so unless Sonic has some interactions with time jumps or a fortune teller, I really doubt we would need to introduce another Hedgehog character into the mix. Silver's role in the Sonic series is to protect his time by altering catastrophes of the past. Therefore, something really catastrophic would have to be happening in the movie for Silver to show up, which would just confuse audiences even more who came to see Sonic save the world, not some other future hedgehog. And that has been the top 10 characters that we don't want to see in the Sonic movie. Thank you so much for watching it. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, comment down below if you agree with this list or if you disagree with this list. And for more videos like this one, all you have to do is click that playlist on your screen. From Top 10 Gaming, I'm Johnny Rogers. Until next time, take care.